Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
Hot and humid now, and we hear there's a good chance of storms tonight. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right over to the forecast. Joining us with the very latest is meteorologist Robert Hahn. Robert?
Yeah, an active afternoon has now pushed into an active evening. A severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11 o'clock tonight for much of the region. And we do have a couple of active severe thunderstorm warnings. And that includes parts of the Devil's Lake Basin as well as part of the James River Basin. If we go ahead and take a look at the radar, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning up in the southeastern Ramsey, southwestern Walsh County, northwestern Nelson County. That until 6:15. That storm about 19 miles northeast of Devil's Lake, moving east at 30. Quarter-size hail possible with that storm. Another severe thunderstorm warning just issued a few minutes ago. That for central Stutsman County for a severe thunderstorm, a line of severe thunderstorms, 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail possible with that storm. And that is that storm just to the west of Jamestown, moving off towards the southeast. And we have had some sizable hail with some of these storms. That storm off towards the north, that is the one in effect for parts of Ramsey County, as well as Walsh and Nelson County. This storm has also shown some signs of a rotation. We will continue to monitor things as we head through the rest of the evening, and keep in mind, again, that severe thunderstorm watch continues until 11 o'clock tonight. We'll be here all evening keeping an eye on things, and we'll let you know if things get out of hand. Until then, we'll have another update on things in just a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, Robert. New information tonight on a death investigation out of Grand Forks. A body found near the Flying J Truck Plaza in Grand Forks Sunday morning has been identified. He's 44-year-old Shane Keith Freed of New Dundee, Ontario. Autopsy results are still pending, but police say it might be a possible suicide. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson was on the scene and has the latest on the investigation.
A Grand Forks resident spotted the body at 10:30 Sunday morning in this grassy area on the south side of the Flying J Truck Plaza parking lot and called police.
A citizen who was walking their dog down in the area of the Flying J truck stop came across a person who he believed was either deceased or in some kind of trouble, so he called the police department. We responded out there, and that's where the investigation started.
Johnson says Freed's body showed significant signs of trauma, but foul play is not suspected. It may be a possible suicide.
Did it appear the victim had been there for a while, several days, a week?
No, definitely not several days. Exact amount of time he'd been there, unknown at this point, but it was not a matter of days. It was probably more hours than days.
Lieutenant Johnson says it does not appear a firearm was involved in Freed's death and that this incident poses no danger to the general public. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Police say initial autopsy results regarding Freed's cause of death should be available by tomorrow. An 18-year-old Grand Forks man has died after rolling his pickup into a water-filled ditch near Hector International Airport. Police identify him as Damber Chuan. As Valley News Live first told you, the crash happened about 6:30 last night. Police say Chuan's pickup was upside down in about 3 feet of water. He had to be cut out of the vehicle. Police say another Grand Forks man, Kanal Tamang, is hospitalized in Fargo, but they say they don't know the extent of his injuries. A third person that walked away from the crash checked in with police this morning. The investigation as to exactly what happened is ongoing. We now know the name of a man killed after being hit by a train in downtown Fargo over the weekend. 61-year-old Wendell Ducato of Fargo was hit just after 1:30 Sunday morning. Police say it happened at 8th Street North and Main Avenue. Officers say there were 2 trains traveling in the area. An eastbound train had just cleared the intersection when a westbound train approached and Ducato was hit. We have breaking news on an injury crash in Moorhead. The call was made about 30 minutes ago near Highway 10 and 21st Street. It involved a vehicle and a child on a bicycle. We know that traffic in the area has been rerouted, so getting around is difficult at best. Now, one of our reporters is in the general vicinity, and we hope to update the story as soon as possible. Today marks the final annual minimum wage raise in Minnesota, requiring large companies to pay their workers at least $9.50 an hour and small ones to start out paying $7.75. Employers, big and small, throughout Minnesota have been preparing for this since Governor Dayton signed the bill into law in April 2014. That preparation means more people working are already making the new minimum or higher.
It doesn't really affect us as much here with most of our staff, well, all of our staff is above minimum wage. We start at above minimum wage. And so it didn't really change anything directly for us.
In January 2018, minimum wage in Minnesota will increase based on inflation, something lawmakers say will continue to help Minnesota families. North Dakota lawmakers are gathering in Bismarck tomorrow for a special session to deal with a multi-million-dollar budget crunch. The state is projected to be more than $300 million in the red. Now that's even after 4% across-the-board budget cuts earlier this year. The crisis is far from over, and it's on the Fargo City Commission agenda happening right now. Fargo Cass Public Health is talking at the commission meeting about the local opioid crisis in our area and raising community awareness.
We aren't laying out a plan tonight. What we're laying out this evening is our plan to bring the community together.
What are city leaders doing about the epidemic other than talking about it? We asked them tonight on Valley News Live at 6. Today marks a new chapter in Minnesota's medical marijuana program. Patients with a handful of serious conditions have been buying medical marijuana for more than a year. But now people with serious pain can also purchase it. Minnesota Medical Solutions says things at the Moorhead Dispensary are busy. Since they opened in June, they've treated just short of 100 patients. Staff say the clinic is generally full, but they do take walk-ins, so no one will be turned away. They are thinking about expanding hours at the Moorhead Cannabis Clinic in the coming weeks to accommodate an influx of patients. The expansion of Dakota Boys and Girls Ranch in South Fargo will be finished later this month. The $10 million expansion includes the Thrivent Nutrition Center and a full-size gym with basketball and volleyball courts. Other additions include a fitness center, kitchen, conference rooms, and offices. About 40 children are schooled at the site. Officials say the expansion gives the students more opportunities, including the Gudrun R. Marks Chapel, which can fit 80 to 100 people.
We had a Foundation of Prayers event where the kids were able to write their prayers on the chapel floor and with our staff and faculty, and it was just an opportunity to kind of establish, this is an important spot, and the chapel is going to be meaningful in our spiritual life program and hopefully in the healing and the normalcy for our kids moving forward.
The expansion will be completed by the start of the school year. An historic house is on the move in Fargo tomorrow. The Kinsler House is being moved from its current location on 42nd Avenue South, just off University, to 64th Avenue South. It's being moved to make way for a flood protection dike along the Rose Creek Golf Course. To get there, it will first travel south on University to 70th Avenue, then to 25th Street. Its journey will end at 64th Avenue. And Fargo police tell Valley News Live the move begins at 9 a.m. and could take about 2 hours. The city is paying more than $800,000 to move the 120-year-old house. The hottest ticket in town sold out in a hurry. Some dedicated Bison football fans spent the overnight hours outside the Fargo Dome so they could be the first ones in line for single-game tickets when they went on sale at 8 a.m. Tickets for the 6 home games run from $30 to $50, and in less than an hour, they were gone. There will be more tickets available the day before Saturday games this fall. Despite controversy over the new nickname and logo, UND is ready to start selling new gear this weekend. This Saturday, there will be an all-day celebration at the UND bookstore. Now, it's the first time new Fighting Hawks merchandise will be available, and the public is invited. It starts at 9 a.m., and there will be giveaways and drawings all day with kids' activities from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And tonight on Valley News Live, Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop tests out the latest as seen on TV product, Battle Balloons.
Tonight on Valley News Live, 10 at 10. These water balloons are color-filled and they're supposed to be easy to use and come out of your clothes cleanly. We tell you if they really do that tonight on Valley News Live, 10 at 10. And we have kids put the balloons to the test to find out if they are worth your money tonight on Valley News Live, 10 at 10. And remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook so you can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed.
Just go ahead and search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day. Flights to Cuba are almost ready for takeoff. The details are coming up.
Strong to severe storms will continue across much of the area as we head through the 11 o'clock hour. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11 tomorrow. A break in the action, but how long does that break last? We'll let you know coming up right after this.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live.
Tonight's news is brought to you by Shields.
This is an oven, and it's hot. Not microwave hot, oven hot. This is made from scratch.
The Blueberry Biscuit, only at Hardee's.
One of the hottest names in country music, Frankie Ballard. Friday, August 26th, 8 p.m., Shooting Star Casino, Hotel and Entertainment. Frankie Ballard. Tickets are on sale now. Call 800-313-SHOW. Go online to starcasino.com or at the Shooting Star box office. Frankie Ballard.
Sunshine and whiskey.
Are you happy with your bathroom? I wasn't. I thought I didn't have the money until I learned about Bathfitter. Bathfitter puts a new bathtub right over your old one. Isn't that amazing? Bathfitter will measure and install right over your existing tub. And only Bathfitter has seamless walls, which guarantees a watertight fit. Plus, they do it all in just one day. That's my favorite part. Book a free consultation and find out for yourself. Call today or learn more at bathfitternow.com.
It's a nice. What I love most about Tempur-Pedic mattresses is that they contour to your body. It keeps us comfortable and asleep at night. Can I take a nap now?
Change your sleep. Change your life. Change to Tempur-Pedic.
The home at 19 Walker Court. The agent. The look over. The look under. The checking of walls. The floors, the gutters, the doors. Finding the flaw. Fixing it, listing it, showing it, selling it. The sign of a RE/MAX agent.
With bacon strips, bacon jam, and bacon crumbles, it's a bacon lover's fantasy.
I know what you're thinking, but come on, it's called the Bacon 3-Way Burger. What'd you expect?
The Bacon 3-Way Thick Burger, only at Hardee's.
When severe weather threatens, trust the Valley News Live Storm Team.
Thanks for staying with us, taking a live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam. We've seen a mix of clouds and sunshine here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Some breezy conditions and a rather warm afternoon. A bit humid out there as well. Temperature 86 degrees with our humidity creeping on up there. It feels more like 90. Temperatures elsewhere across the region, 70 rain-cooled degrees up in Devils Lake, 73 in Langdon, 84 Jamestown, and Valley City, 82 Wahpeton, Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Bemidji, and in Wadena. Winds, they've been gusty out of the south, and they'll continue ahead of the showers and thunderstorms. Once those storms move through along a cold front, we will see those winds shift around to the west and the northwest. Severe thunderstorm watch, that blue area, blue outline, that in effect until 11 o'clock. Does include the Fargo-Moorhead area, Grand Forks, the Devils Lake Basin, Jamestown, Ellendale, and we do have some severe storms. This one in effect for central Stutsman County. That through the 6:30 hour, some sizable hail up to the size of quarters. Winds gusting as high as 60 miles per hour possible. Take that lightning off, and you can see the strongest part of that storm continues to make its way towards the east and southeast. Jamestown, keep an eye on this storm. It's a very tough one. Continues to slide off towards the east and southeast towards Jamestown, and a rough go of it west of Jamestown along I-94. This severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Nelson, Walsh, and Ramsey County. We'll turn off the lightning there, and you can see a pretty powerful storm there. It continues to make its way off towards the east. This warning in effect through 6:15. It has shown some signs of rotation, and you see that there. And it'll continue to slide off towards the east, and again, that warning continues through 6:15, and that also for some quarter-sized hail, and we've received quarter-sized hail reports from that storm. There's a better look at that watch box again. That in effect through 11 o'clock tonight. We'll continue to monitor these storms. They head off towards the east. We'll show you that as we put our maps into motion, and you can see some showers and thunderstorms possible If they continue to march off toward the east, we'll continue to see that risk for some severe storms, especially through the 11 o'clock hour and maybe beyond that. As we head through the overnight hours, things will finally start to clear on out. And by tomorrow morning, it looks like some quiet conditions across the region with temperatures in the 60s in most areas. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, a much quieter day, winds lighter out of the west and the northwest, and we'll see a warm up into the 80s in most areas, but with a lot less humidity, it won't feel quite as bad as the sticky conditions today. And again, we'll see some mostly sunny skies, some clearing skies as we head through the evening hours, and temperatures cooling down into the 70s. Here in the Fargo area, we'll start off the day in the upper 60s, and as we head through the afternoon hours, lots of sunshine, some low 80s, some light breezes out there. We're going to top out right around 90 degrees. Picture of the day, check this out. Sunset on the farm near Wheaton. Thanks to Erica for sending that in. We're going to use that as the background of our 7-day forecast, and we will have a nice break in the action Tuesday. Those showers and storms in our eastern counties well before 2 a.m. Late thunder possible on Wednesday, another hot and humid one, and some of those storms could be strong and perhaps severe behind that system. Cooler, drier, some low 80s out there, even as we head on into Saturday. But as we head through Sunday, a chance for a few isolated storms, and we warm it back up into the mid-80s. Monday, a chance for more showers and storms with temperatures in the mid-80s. So reiterating once again, severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11 o'clock. That includes much of the area, about the western 2/3 of the area. We are seeing some severe thunderstorms. Those continue for Stutsman County, as well as parts of Nelson, Walsh, and Ramsey counties. And we'll continue to monitor things. If anything it gets updated over the next few minutes, we'll update by the end of the show.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Robert. Uber is putting a lot of money into a new project so it can break free from a company it's currently relying on. That story's next.
You're watching Valley News Live on KX4, your hometown CBS station.
So you made that?
Yep, getting psyched to go back to school.
That's pretty psyched.
A kid that wants summer to end. You don't see that every day. But up to 60% off back-to-school clothes, you see that every day at Gordon's.
When I was in 8th grade is when I lost my hearing. I'd been testing hearing aids all over, and right across the parking lot was Miracle Ear. So I went over to Miracle Ear. About 2 months I came back and I said, I'm 100% satisfied. For my family members, a big difference now. And they're smiling because Daddy can hear now. And he's hearing the whole story and not just part of it.
It's not just what a 96% satisfaction rating says about us. It's how you feel when you're seen as more than a claim, when your questions are answered by friends and neighbors, whether online, on the phone, or in person. That's how we measure success. This is healthcare, North Dakota style. Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Dakota.
I see HPV vaccine as cancer prevention, and I will do everything I can to prevent my kids from having to go through what I went through. They have their whole lives ahead of them, and I can't protect them from everything, but I will protect them from HPV-related cancer.
Excuse me.
A baby with good manners? You don't see that every day. But up to 60% off department store prices? You see that every day at Gordon's.
Closed captioning of this newscast is brought to you by Casey's General Store.
Welcome back. In tonight's Consumer Alert, Uber relies heavily on Google's Maps so drivers can find you. But now it appears the ride-sharing company wants to stand on its own. Uber is reportedly investing $500 million in a global mapping project to create its own detailed maps. They would include specifics such as traffic patterns and where exactly your door is located. The company believes the investment is a crucial step toward using autonomous cars, which would rely heavily on precise maps. JetBlue could be the first U.S. carrier to begin normal airline flights to Cuba. since travel restrictions were eased. JetBlue's regularly scheduled flights to Cuba will begin next month. The airline will operate 3 flights a week before launching a daily service on October 1st. Fares will begin at $99 one way. American Airlines and Silver Airways are slated to begin their regular flights to Cuba a few days after JetBlue. McDonald's is nixing some of its ingredients as it fights to satisfy health-conscientious customers. Today, McDonald's announced its Chicken McNuggets and some breakfast menu items will now be free of artificial preservatives. The fast food chain also says it's now serving chicken free of antibiotics 1 year earlier than it had planned. And later this month, it'll begin rolling out new sandwich buns that no longer contain high fructose corn syrup. Indoor versus outdoor trampolines. Is one safer than the other? Hear what a new study has to say coming up.
How would you like to lose up to 1 pound of fat a day? Naomi lost 40 pounds and 31 inches in just 60 days. And Kelsey lost 46 pounds.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
The home at 43 Park Drive. The couple, the granddaughter, the agent, the offer, the pushback, the negotiation, the butting of heads, the standing of ground, the white flag raising, the victory. The victory. The sign of a RE/MAX agent.
My name is Ron Brackett. I taught music for well over 20 years, but I've been driving with Trans Systems since 2013. I've always liked big equipment and agriculture, so I absolutely love what I'm doing now. I manage my own truck, get my runs in on time, and when I'm done, I'm home every day to do whatever I want, or not much at all. I came to Trans Systems because they have good equipment, comfortable cabs, and the people are genuine.
Call now to find out how you can be part of the Trans Systems family.
Tomorrow on the Valley Today, kids are enjoying their last pool and lake days before school starts, but you still want to avoid a burn. We have some kid-friendly ways to keep the whole family protected from the sun, plus all your overnight headlines.
And another hot but not so muggy day on the way. All of your forecast and weather on the ones.
How would you like to lose up to 1 pound of fat a day? Shauna lost 63 pounds in 100 days, and Diane lost 98 pounds.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
The world's most important newsmakers are on America's most important news broadcasts. CBS News, original reporting.
Get ready for Rio, August 5th through the 21st. All eyes will be in the most colorful place on the planet. Watch coverage of the 2016 Rio Olympics on KVLY.
In tonight's Healthier Me, as more and more indoor trampoline parks spring up across the country, injuries in these venues have jumped to an all-time high. Accidents on home trampolines send a huge number of kids to the ER, topping 90,000 visits each year. However, a new study from Connecticut Children's Medical Center shows ER visits for indoor park-related injuries rose from under 600 in 2010 to nearly 7,000 in 2014. Males and young teenagers were more likely to get hurt in these parks, and the majority of injuries involve sprains or fractures.
I think there may be some inherent risks at trampoline parks with multiple jumpers, and that may actually explain some of the more severe injuries that we're seeing as well. And while these parks have safety rules and they even have some supervisors, those may actually provide a false sense of security for some of these kids and their parents.
The International Association of Trampoline Parks released a statement in response to the new study. The organization agrees safety is a priority and writes the positives of youth recreational sports far outweigh the negatives. And back to school is always an exciting time, but for many kids, the classrooms can also lead to health problems. Doctors say it's important to remind students the best way not to get sick is by washing your hands and getting plenty of sleep. They recommend each student get at least 9 hours of sleep at night, and bedtime schedules should be put in place a few weeks before school so students can get back on schedule. And before the year starts, kids should stop in for an annual checkup.
One is immunizations, making sure your immunizations are up to date, and then recommending that they come back in the fall for the flu vaccine. Number 2 is just checking to see if they need a sports physical. Many kids will be needing sports physicals going into school and starting sports. Covering how to keep your body healthy, and basically just doing a head-to-toe exam, making sure there's no concerns there.
Doctors also suggest you talk to your kids about getting to school safely, which includes wearing bike helmets if your kids ride to school, and of course looking both ways before crossing a street. And if you like to eat raw cookie dough or cake batter, you may need to stop. Health officials are warning consumers to not eat raw cookie dough or batter after General Mills' massive recall of about 45 million pounds of flour amid suspicion of E. coli contamination. The tainted flour has gotten 46 people sick in about 21 states. In addition, cooks are being warned to treat flour like other foods that could cross-contaminate kitchen surfaces. And stay with us. Still to come, we'll have another look at your evening weather planner.
Hot water when you need it, and save money on your water heating costs with water heaters from Menards. This Energy Star rated fast recovery natural gas unit from Richmond is $599. This Stiebel Eltron electric tankless water heater has a compact design that takes up less space than a traditional tank model. Just $699. Find these and other great deals on all your plumbing needs during Menards Red Hot Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
iMart Express offers the perfect combination in eyewear. The styles you want, the quality lenses you need, the innovation that allows you to wear your glasses today, and the people to help you see beautifully and look even better. 2 pairs start at $38.71 and 2 pairs with progressive lenses just $76.92. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
The Bowler in Fargo is your one-stop spot for all-day entertainment. Our bowling alley offers 24 lanes. We can host your special event, including birthdays and more. The Bowler is also home to 3 unique bars with something for everyone, including Kingpin Casino, featuring blackjack, pull tabs, and paddle wheel. Come satisfy your hunger at Gina's Pizza and Grill, featuring homemade pizzas and a wide selection of other delicious items. The Bowler, serving the area for more than 50 years at 2630 South University Drive, Fargo.
Active weather continues. Severe thunderstorm watch in the blue outline. That continues through 11 o'clock tonight. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. This one in effect for Stutsman County, and the strongest part of that storm heading right towards the Jamestown area. There is the hail core. Ping pong ball sized hail is possible. You can see it moving towards the east-southeast. It's going to pass right over or very close to the Jamestown area here in the next 15 to 20 minutes. So some sizable hail, and also the risk of some 60-mile-per-hour winds with that storm. The other storm for parts of Nelson, Walsh, and Ramsey County. This warning in effect through 6:15. It has shown some signs of rotation, and we'll continue to see that as we head through the rest of the evening. It is hot. It is humid out there. Fuel for those storms. A rain-cooled 69 up in Devils Lake, 85 here in Fargo. We'll continue to monitor those storms as we head through the rest of the evening and update you as necessary.
Sounds good. And we've got much more news over on KVLY with Mike and Andrea.